Hello guys and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video I am going to be doing another X-Wing Miniatures How to Fly. In this series I basically want to teach you guys how to fly certain ships. Really what I tend to do is I just tend to show you how I choose to fly them, how I choose to set up my ships, what upgrade cards I like to use on certain ships, and I also tell you guys, how I tend to think of the way I use these ships, and I hope through the way that I use them, you might be able to come up with your own ideas on how you guys can use your ships. But with that said, nothing in this video is set in stone. Nothing in this video is it has to be 100% done my way, this way. Everyone has their own strategies. Everyone has their own way of flying these ships. That's what's so cool about X-Wing Manager. And I just hope that if you watch this video, if you see the way that I use them, the way that I choose my cards and everything, I hope you guys might be able to, of course, come up with your own strategies and your own way on using X-Wing Managers. With that said, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what ship we are going to be flying today. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the Special Forces TIE Fighter. It's a TIE Fighter with a turret! I'm not crazy, you're crazy. It's a TIE Fighter with the turret! Come on, is that not a really cool idea? Of course, the TIE Fighter, the most iconic, or at least one of the most iconic ships from the original trilogy. And of course they had to bring it back, but the way they spruce up the design in the newer movies, in the sequels, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the story. No, that story really. But as in terms of the model and the designs for the ships, yeah, I absolutely love the designs of the ships. And this black and red paint job that they have on the First Order stuff, it's striking. It's really striking. I really do enjoy the paint jobs. I really do enjoy the fact that they are not just that white or grayish blue, whatever you want to call it. I really do like the fact that they're black and red because they really just stand out against the backgrounds. They just look really cool. Now, in terms of the TIE Fighter, yes, you have the normal TIE Fighter, but you need something with a little bit more power, a little bit more oomph. Then you got the Special Forces TIE Fighter. The Special Forces TIE Fighter is a TIE Fighter with a turret. I'm not gonna lie, I really do like turrets. It's a TIE Fighter with a turret. Come on, it's a TIE Fighter with a turret. I've never even heard of that idea, but I really do like it. Now, if you don't remember what the Special Forces TIE Fighter is, in Episode 7 we have both Finn and of course Poe steal a TIE Fighter, and it was a Special Forces TIE Fighter because the Special Forces TIE Fighter are actually a little bit larger than a normal TIE Fighter. Why are they a little bit larger? Because they can have indeed two pilots. Well, actually they have one pilot and then a gunner, but that means there's two people in that ship. The gunner, of course, will control the turret that the ship has, while the pilot hopefully flies himself out of range. That's actually a really cool idea, and I'm not gonna lie, a turret on a TIE Fighter, man! A turret on a TIE Fighter! That's just absolutely incredible, and it's fun to play with. It's really fun to play with. And I just like the fact that what they really did with this turret as well is it can't turn to the sides. Why? because if it turns to the sides, it's gonna blow off the side of the wing. So you can't do that. You can't blow off your own wing. So that means you can only fire this going front or firing it from the back. And yes, on the car right here, it says right here, you can rotate your turret indicator only to your front or back. You must treat the main attack requirement of your equipped rockets upgrades as turrets. In other words, you're not going to be firing your rockets from your main attacks, your main guns. You're going to be firing them from your turrets, which means, yes, if your turrets are turned behind you, you are going to be able to fire your missiles behind you. That is pretty darn cool. You will also notice that they have two attacks here. So let's go through the stats. It's 2 attacks in the front and 2 attacks for the turrets, which means you can fire in the front and move your turret behind you to hopefully protect your back. That is a cool ability. 2 evades, 3 hull, 3 shields. Guys, we know TIE fighters don't generally have shields. And even the regular TIE fighter only comes with 1 shield on the First Order TIE fighter, of course, which is a humongous upgrade when it comes to the First Order TIE fighter. Don't get me wrong, humongous upgrade when it comes to the TIE fighter technology. But this one has 3. This one has 3 shields. That's pretty strong shields for this ship. And then its actions. Focus token, evade token, targeting computer, barrel roll, and every time you can do that, every time you have an action, you can indeed change your turret's direction. So in case one moment you're firing from behind, but now you need a focus token in the front, well, now you can change your turret along with the focus token, which that's also a pretty cool ability. That makes the ship really, really powerful. It's a really, really powerful TIE fighter. And I mean, let's face it, TIE fighters, one of the coolest Star Wars ships out there, is also one of the absolute weakest ships in the game. So I like the Special Forces TIE Fighter because it gives the TIE Fighter the power that it deserves, you know. As a really cool ship, you think that it would have a bunch of abilities. And it doesn't. And it doesn't. Why? Because it's just an average TIE Fighter. But the Special Forces TIE fixes that. You will also note that all Special Forces TIE Fighter are indicated by that red stripe. Why do they have the red stripe? It's to classify themselves as a special high commanding officer ship. That is what the red stripe on these ships is, and I think Hi, this is Future Dylan. Guess what? I meant super elite. It's to classify them as super elite. Just for some reason, as I made the video, I could not think of the darn word elite. Yes, the red stripe is to classify them as an elite, and to classify these ships as a Special Forces TIE Fighter. Indeed, on the little markers, and I'm going to show you a picture here, they actually also have like a little black line that represents the red stripe on the Special Forces TIE Fighter, so you don't mix up the TIE Fighter pieces with the regular First Order TIE Fighter or the TIE Fighter in general. Paint job with the red stripe is again really, really cool. Let's look at the pictures. Let's look at the pictures. Yep, And yes, I do have two of them. I do have two of them. They are pretty cool. Let's go ahead and look at the pilot cards, shall we? Let's go ahead and look at the points cost. Of course, the points cost change all the time. I just show them to give you an idea of what these ships cost. And for the abilities that this ship has, it's actually quite a cheap ship in my opinion. A normal ship like this in this game, I would think would be about 20 points higher than somewhere between 10 and 20 points. Maybe around 15 points higher than what this ship actually has. So that means for the First Order, that's pretty effective. Now, I normally just look at the quick builds. I normally just play the quick builds. So here are the quick builds as well. Alright. So, what is my favorite pilot with this ship? My favorite pilot is actually Quick Draw. Quick Draw. After you lose a shield, you may spend 1 energy. If you do, you may perform a bonus primary attack. So this is crazy. This is crazy. You get 2 attacks? You get 2 attacks? That is insane for that ability. Of course, you have to be damaged, which means, no, if you got shields, it don't work. It has to have damage. It has to have no shields. It's gotta have a damage card for it to work. But even with damage, I mean, you got 3 hull. Take 1 damage. You got 2 shields left. You got 2 hull left. That's an ability that you can pretty much spam for a while as long as you got the right energy for it. That's a pretty powerful card, and the energy is of course recurring. So you can use that as many times as you can, as long as you can survive the battle. Let's show you guys the card one more time. There you guys go. Alright. Now, as for cards that I typically put on this ship, Juke. Who doesn't like Juke? While you perform an attack, if you are evading, you may change one of the defender's evade dice results to a focus result. You know, for some reason, I start reading these, and then I get to the symbols, and then I have to stop for a minute and go, and then it just processes. I don't know why that happens to me, but let me know if that happens to you. Like, you read the card and then you get to the symbols and I'm like, what does that symbol mean? And then you're like, oh, well, duh. I don't know why that happens to me. But anyway, these are pretty darn useful pattern analyzers. Those are pretty darn handy on the ship. Ion missiles. Who doesn't like giving their opponents some ion tokens? And if you're not going to use Juke, Swarm Tactics is pretty darn handy. At the start of the engagement phase, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1. If you do, that ship treats its inactivity as equal to yours until the end of the round. I usually use that on Quick Draw, because that means, with him being level 6, that means a friendly ship can possibly attack along with them earlier in the game than he would otherwise. So I do like Swarm Tactics because of that. And Special Forces Gunner. Of course, Special Forces Gunner, because this thing has the turrets. I'm not crazy, you are. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know, how do you fly the TIE Special Forces? The Special Forces TIE Fighter. How do you guys fly it? What equip cards do you put on it? Let me know down in the comments below. It's a TIE Fighter with a turret. It's a TIE Fighter with a turret.